Hey everybody, let's take a... I need to start a little slower.
Yes. Yes.
Hey everybody.
No.
No?
No.
Hey everybody, let's take a walk. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Renewed Homestead. Ben and Denise, we're obviously down at the pond and, took a little walk and Turkey followed us and I guess we were following the ducks. So we've got a little bit of a water issue and we've talked about it a little bit before, but we've got a lot of seepage going on. The pond level is dropping. So I don't know if it's... The pond hasn't sealed up totally at this point, but we have a lot of wet down below and there's not as much pond. The pond is not dropping as much as there is water down there. So we are wondering if there isn't another spring down below the pond. Turkey photobomb back there. Anyway, so in effort to try to control this, because we can't mow the grass down there or anything, we've dug a trench. We're going to take you down and show you that.
Yeah, we used a weed eater, a DR, right?
Yeah.
Done right. And we actually got the idea from Stony Ridge, so thank you, Stony Ridge Farmer. It actually was a lot easier than trying to use a regular weed eater.
It's a walk behind string trimmer. And with everything we purchase, we look at it as, it's not spending money, it's an investment. This is something that will be easier for Denise to handle as far as, cutting weeds and tall grass and things like that. But, it's a lot easier, it's a lot more powerful than just running a regular weed whacker. We have one, but this will make things a little easier. And it's a lot lighter as far as, mowing the lawn.
Turkey's right here, so that's why I keep looking back.
He doesn't get at us, but he comes right up to us. So it's a little weird sometimes. But anyway, so William was over from Permapastures Farm. He was here yesterday helping us out. We brought him down here and what would you do with the water issue down here? And he's like, well, nothing says you can't build a second pond. Just have a lower, smaller pond below it and capture that water. And
So we're looking at options right now on what we can do. It's possible we could do a cistern. We've got a couple of cisterns. We'll take you up there because at the top, well, not the top of the property, but towards the top of the pasture and in the woods, we've definitely got some water issues, and we're going to take you and show you that in a future video. But we're looking at options for what to do. I don't think it's that much of the pond because the pond's gone a little lower, but we've been pretty dry.
yeah.
The last few weeks. We got one really good rainstorm, but it's been outside of the humidity. It's been dry. We haven't had as much rain as we normally do. So I think that's part of the issue with the pond. I would think that as wet as it is down there, we're going to show you, I would think the pond would have had to have dropped a lot for that.
Yeah, well, you're right with the humidity too. It's probably a lot of evaporation. We see it in pools in Arizona, but yeah, we're still swatting at gnats and pasture lawn, I appreciate the offer. I don't need you to send us anymore.
No, we
Thank
want to
you.
send them your way to South Carolina.
Yeah, we're gonna get a giant vacuum and suck them up and bring them to South Carolina with us over the weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
But-
so let's take you down and show you what we've dug up, and you can see there's actually water running, but again, it's probably not the pond itself. So that's adding to it, but we've got apple trees down here. We've already moved one because it's too wet for it. There's another one I think we're going to have to move. Denise planted a willow tree down there. That's supposed to help with the water issues.
Yeah,
But
we've got
that's going to take some time. So.
Yes, we've got a mulberry on one side of the pond, and we're going to take you along as we do some more design of the pond. But the mulberries will actually feed the fish that are in the pond, and then we've got another willow tree on the other side of the pond, and then we put one down there to help with the water issues.
The someday fish. There aren't fish in the pond yet.
Yes.
But we do have an alligator in there.
It's not really.
It looks like the size of an alligator. There's this big snapping turtle in there. So
if we can get a picture of it, we'll try. But we've been trying. He ducks under every time we try to get a picture of him.
I think he feels the vibration in the ground, because anytime I get halfway up to the pond, he dips. So.
Yes.
Anyway, all right, let's take you over and show you what the trench we've got going. And okay, so we're below the pond, and this is the trench. Hi, sweetie.
It's all right. It's all right.
She wants to be on camera. Hi, sweetheart. She's a sweetie.
That's our neighbor's dog.
Yeah, neighbor's dog. But anyway, so the trench is along here. We'll walk you down. Oops, it's focusing on my finger. We've got the willow tree there, and this was, if you look down into the trees below there, you can see how tall that grass is. That's higher than waist high. And so Denise came here with the string trimmer and knocked this down. Because as wet as it is, you can't bring the lawnmower without it sinking. And I know the thought, well, why don't you bring the animals down? Well, we did. The sheep came down, all the way down here and across the top. But down here it is just too wet, and we do not want to risk them getting any kind of hoof issues and being standing in mud. That wouldn't be good for them, and it's not going to be good for the ground. But
Yes.
I'll walk you along here for just a minute, and you can see we had a little bit of rain the other night, but this is you'll see coming up here, that water is not from the rain. That's been seeping in since I dug this about a week ago, I think. A lot of water, and I'm on the side here, and I'm kind of, see how squishy it is right there, wet and squishy, and goes down and then kind of trenches across, and then right below that tall grass is the creek. So it's all trying to make its way back into the creek. Let me take you back over here. Same thing. There's a trench that I'm gonna have to dig out a little bit further here on the other side of the pond. I think if I back it off, there you go.
Yeah, and on this side, it is extremely wet. And where that willow is really wet. Willow's doing well, thankfully, but you can see just how wet and soppy all this is here.
That's the willow right there. But yeah, look down in there, you can see it's just, it's not usable. We can't do anything with this right the way it is. So over the top here, squish, squish. So yeah, there's the willow tree, and this is the bottom corner of our property down there in those black walnuts, and just really tall grass that we're trying to manage as best we can. But again, we can't mow it. That's the bank from the pond there. And then I mentioned that apple tree. You can see right here, surrounded by comfrey and a cage, because the deer like to eat our apples.
The bone sauce is helping.
Yeah, the bone sauce has helped tremendously. This cage has been on since before we even got our hands on some bone sauce. But you can see it's just not doing very well. So it's going to have to be moved up higher up, we've got all the other trees along in there, along that side, because it's not wet.
Yes.
Now we're above the pond again, and see, our ducks are enjoying it, and Turkey's on his way over. Strange bird, but anyway.
He's a sweetie.
So, he is. So that's just another day, another issue going on here, and we do want to thank Stony Ridge again. The DR Dunright string trimmer is amazing. Very
Thanks
good.
for the recommendation. It's a lot easier. Like I've weed eated with our still, but it does get a little bit heavy after a while. So this was definitely nice to have. Yeah. We're definitely happy with it. So
good investment.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the description. No affiliation, of course. Just just something nice to have on the homestead. Like I said, we'd love to bring the animals through. Right now down there, it is just way too wet for the animals, so we have to have something right now until we get the water issues taken care of. And we've got a lot of hills and stuff and areas where, that need to be weeded right now as we're still getting the rotation down for the animals.
Yeah, our neighbors keep beautiful yards, and we struggle just to keep up. So. We're getting there. It's when we got here, this was the swamp, and the weeds were, we couldn't see anything.
9 foot tall.
Yeah, I could reach up, and she couldn't see my hand from the house. So
yeah, it was bad.
It was bad. So we've come a long, long, long way, and we will continue to get better and grow. So
yes.
Did you want to mention the shirts?
Yes, actually we do have shirts available to order now through Bonfire. We've actually used Bonfire through our charity, and the shirts are really comfortable, really good quality. That's why we went with Bonfire. So I will put a link in the description where you can actually order your shirts. We have 2 right now. That'll help support us. So we would appreciate it. Yes, absolutely. And if anybody has any ideas about the water, would definitely appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're grateful for William. He's got a lot of knowledge. There might be something that we haven't thought of. So if anybody has any ideas on what we can do, like I said, we've talked about another pond, talked about possibly a cistern. The willow will help with some of the water issues. I just think there might be too much water, but I'm not sure.
Well, and the other thing about the cistern is, we'd be investing in putting that in, and to use that water, it would be great to have it for emergency water. Redundancy, we talk about it all the time. But to use it, we would have to pump it all the way back up, at least to the house, if not higher up, to be able to use it. But
yeah, it's at the low part of our property. So
it would be there. And being at the low part of the property, maybe that's a good thing. If we have, if this heat wave and dry spell continues, there might not be as much water coming from way up high, but down lower.
Yeah, and it's not, and the water down there, it's not a matter of just rain that just gets trapped. Like I said, no. we've been dry, and as we've been here almost 2 years, and that has been really wet since we've gotten here. We built the pond thinking we had enough of the wet zone covered. Maybe we didn't.
Hard to say.
Yeah, it's hard to say. When we did plant the apple tree, it wasn't really wet there. It was wet a little bit further from it, but now it's obviously seeping over. So yeah, but it might just be part of the natural spring.
Could be. Put a little pond down there, and that'll give us more growing area for more trees. Everything we changes everything.
That's true.
So live and learn.
Yes.
And experiment.
Yes.
And that's fun. We enjoy that. So.
Yeah.
All right. I think that was it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as always, get the pet spayed and neutered only once, and watch your kids around water. But do be good to yourself and be good to each other. We appreciate you. We appreciate your feedback, and we want you all to be safe. And all of God's blessings on you. We'll be praying for you, and hopefully prayers for us too. So
yes.
We will see you on the next video, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.